So, yeah. Javier?
On the MBA program,
Yeah.
have you guys thought of, or have you thought of, like, say for a life member, or a community member that is going to buy into the land trust or be part of the community? Have you thought of how you would handle the MBA knowledge? Like, is everybody going to get that class knowledge?
I haven't really discussed all the details of her program with Indira, so I'm not sure exactly what it's about, but I think it's really for people who want to make a career in educational administration. I don't think it's for everybody. But if you look at our University of Higher Knowledge program, this would be more for the life members. And we already give the life members, access to the whole program, and we encourage them to take those courses. What we want to do is basically train up our life members so that they gradually go through all the levels, and they get all the initiations, and they understand the whole Varnashram Dharma by participating in each different Varna. For example, the Bhakti Shastri 1 degree program has within it, embedded within it, a whole mini course on economics, how to manage a business, and how to create a competition-free village. See, where the value of everyone's labor is actually kept within the village, and doesn't get sucked out by corporations and monetization. So, everybody who goes through that course is going to get that material. And actually that is enough knowledge about economics that anyone who knows this could go out and start a successful small business. And by successful, I don't mean big. It could be one person. See? But that they would be independent of these corporations. They wouldn't need a corporation to make a living. That's the important point. So a Vedic sage should be independent, especially a Brahmana. He should not be dependent on anyone else for his livelihood, because then he would have to compromise his knowledge and his wisdom for whatever political environment he's functioning in. We try to get away from that by being financially independent. If we're financially independent, we don't have to worry about displeasing anyone by speaking the truth. We can speak the truth as it is, and then, if somebody doesn't like it, oh well, too bad,
Exactly. One more question. You were mentioning about the visas, that you're trying to work out a deal with the universities that they would, supply visas for the community members. What if the person that was coming out had a child? How would that work?
We haven't figured out all those details yet.
Okay.
That's another thing. We're going to have to get to India and actually work with the people that we're going to be working with and the lawyers, and find out all the details of visas and stuff like that. But basically the principle would be, because we're supplying content to the universities, we would be considered like a partner or a supplier, or I don't know exactly the designation of how they would handle that. But we're like providing course material and administrative advice and help and services to the university. So we would get an entry visa, as we would be some kind of, in some kind of relationship with the university. Okay? Universities in India have actually quite a wide discretionary field. They could designate us as consultants or something like that, and issue visas on that. Or they could even, give us all honorary degrees and say that we're professors. We just don't teach any classes. No, really. Then you'll have to call me Dr. Baba.
Yeah.
Dr. Babaji.
And actually, families are, come on dependent visas. Like when I came here to the United States, my family, my wife, no, they came as a dependent visa.
Okay.
So something similar has to be in place.
Well, if
No, but,
visas go by what's called reciprocal arrangements. So if it's possible to get that kind of visa for U.S., then it's almost certainly possible to go the other way. Just like I just got a 10-year tourist visa to India. I can enter India for up to 6 months at a time, any time during the next 10 years or any number of times during the next 10 years. So this is only because there's a similar visa for coming to America on tourist visa with India. So just like when we went to Chile, when you first, a U.S. resident, when they first come into Chile, they have to pay, I don't know, it's about $120. And it's like, why is it so expensive? I don't even need a visa. I can just show up at the airport, but I have to pay $120? Oh yes, that's because U.S. charges our residents $120 to apply for a visa to the, a tourist visa for U.S. See, so they all work on this reciprocal arrangement. And the fact that there is a good visa program for U.S. Indians going to U.S. means that there'll always be a good program for U.S. going to India. And other Western countries, I think, are pretty much in the same bag. But the difference is you have to get a visa before you go to India. Like even if we get changed from a tourist visa to an entry visa, we'll have to go outside India and then re-enter to be on that visa. But that's not a problem. We can just go to Sri Lanka, take a boat, you know, go to Sri Lanka. Yeah, well, it's not quite that close. You can't walk over Lord Rama's bridge. You have to go there, stay a couple of days. You know, it's beautiful, beaches and everything, and then come back. So, yeah, all these little problems can be solved, I'm sure. I'm certain of it. And there are now, I know of at least 3 or 4 groups of mainly Westerners who have temples and farms and all kinds of projects in different places in India. You know, so there must be a way to do it because they're doing it. And we can always find out the details when we're there. I'm not so worried about that. Okay, is that about it? All right. Let's take a break and have breakfast. I think they're making fruit and like that. And then, what are we going to do next? We should have Arti and Kīrtan for the lunch offering, as long as everybody's here, yeah? And in the meantime, take, you know, personal time or finish your rounds. Or we need to have the conferences with the initiates, right? Interviews with the initiates today. Who's going to do that? You're going to do it? You and Ananda Vardhana? You're too busy, huh? Okay. Okay. So those who are seeking initiation need to make a time to talk with Uddhava Prabhu and just to make everything clear. Okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.